This is a fourth stimulus check, stimulus program, and news update. Finally, the White House talks about the fourth stimulus check. I'll play you the video clip of exactly what was said. And President Biden gave a speech talking about the benefits of these stimulus checks. I'll play you that video clip. I'll also let you know what happened with the meeting between President Biden and Senator Capito regarding the infrastructure package. Then I'll answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend so far. If you appreciate these straight to the point updates, hit the like button down below. So Dr. Fauci calls on China to release medical records of Wuhan researchers, basically trying to get to the bottom of this lab leak theory. Dr. Fauci says he doesn't believe that it came from a lab. He believes that it came from nature, the human-animal interaction. When I asked you guys what you thought, 99% of you thought that COVID came from a lab. Now, he wants to see records, I guess, to be sure, but former head of British intelligence says China likely destroyed any evidence of COVID lab leak theory, which I believe is true as well, especially if the whole world has their eyes on China and they want to do investigations of what happened. China's most likely going to scrub any evidence, make people disappear as they've done many times before, and there's probably going to be no evidence, no definitive evidence, at least leaking China to COVID, because then they would probably have to pay trillions of dollars to everyone in the country, or actually in the world. But let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Do you think there'll ever be evidence proving the lab leak theory? Let me know your thoughts. Next, let's talk about the big meeting that happened yesterday between President Biden and Senator Shelley Moore Capito regarding the big infrastructure happening. We're talking hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars on the line here. So yesterday they met and Biden rejects the new GOP infrastructure offer, but they're supposed to meet again on Monday. It seems that every day or 2 days they're meeting again. Monday is also the deadline, June 7th, for when the infrastructure has to have, the infrastructure plan has to have a deal or no deal. If there is no deal, then most likely Democrats are going to use their one reconciliation for the rest of the year to move the infrastructure package as well as the American Families Plan, which has a lot of those other stimulus programs in it. So I'll keep you updated on this. There really wasn't much else that happened. And that's a few other quick updates, and then I'll give you the fourth stimulus check news. So, landlord group asks Supreme Court to lift the moratorium on evicting tenants. So basically, a realtor group wants to get rid of that eviction moratorium so that they could start evicting tenants. The eviction moratorium is set to end at the end of June. So far, the eviction moratorium is still in place, although there's a lot of people who are illegally evicting people who are supposed to be protected. Regarding the evictions, there's a lot of renter assistance programs going on right now. So one renter got $5,000 in rent assistance. Here's what you need to know about applying. So basically, this one renter in Houston got access to the $45 billion in rental assistance that's available to everybody. She fell behind $890 in rent and was able to get $5,000, which more than covers her back rent as well as, some future rent as well. So if you want access to this money, I recommend going to nlihc.org. There's a few different rental assistance programs you could go to, but this is one of them. I show a lot of different ones on the channel. Also in Illinois, if you live there, renters can receive up to $25,000 with missed payments for rent. So this is going to be the Governor Pritzker is announcing $1.5 billion in housing assistance for Illinois renters and landlords, and renters could receive up to $25,000 in assistance. So a lot of money is starting to flow now between different states, towns, counties. I'll definitely keep you updated. Subscribe to the channel if you want the latest of stimulus news, financial news that could put money in your bank account or at least save you money. Next, let's talk about the fourth stimulus check, the new news that's going on there. So there's new data that could support the push for a fourth round of stimulus checks. Basically, something came out recently saying that the money from the past two stimulus checks helped reports of food shortages drop 42% from January through April, and which was a significant drop, and then rates of financial instability also fell overall by 45% according to this analysis. And the White House actually talked about a fourth stimulus check, basically saying Biden leaves the door open to a fourth payment. So the options are on the table here. Here's a video clip of Jen Psaki, White House press secretary, talking more about the fourth stimulus check.
Okay, and then separately on the On a fourth stimulus check idea that is supported by dozens of Democrats in Congress, I know a month ago you said, stimulus checks aren't free and it's really up to Congress to decide whether to move forward on that. I'm wondering, at this point, does the president support that idea, or does he believe that his American Jobs and Families Plan provide enough economic assistance that a fourth stimulus wouldn't be necessary?
Well, I think as I said at the time, I should say, when you asked us before, the president is certainly open to a range of ideas. There are some who are proposing an elimination of the SALT deduction. I think I said it the right way. And there are some who are proposing making the child tax credit permanent. There are some who are proposing additional stimulus. He's happy to hear from a range of ideas on what would be most effective and what's most important to the economy moving forward. But he's also proposed what he thinks is going to be most effective for the short term, for putting people back to work, to getting through this pivotal period of time, and also to making us more competitive over the long term.
And just to clarify, the president does support an extension of the family child tax credit that's going to start taking effect next month, correct?
It's in his American Families Plan, he's proposed an extension of the child tax credit.
So what do you think about this? Jen Psaki basically saying again that President Biden is open to the idea of a fourth stimulus check. It's mainly up to Congress, as it was before. But when we turn to Congress and say, hey, what are you doing about a fourth stimulus check? It seems like they're almost doing nothing. And in general, it seems like they're almost doing nothing in terms of bringing all these proposals into legislation, as they've been mentioning before. Bernie Sanders also tweeted what stimulus checks meant for the American people. Financial instability fell by 43%, families' food shortages fell by 42%, anxiety and depression fell by 20%. Yes, government can and should continue to address the needs of working people, not just the 1%. So it seems that a lot of people in Congress, including Bernie Sanders, are for a fourth stimulus check, but it just doesn't seem like it's moving fast enough. Also, with the question at the end there regarding the child tax credit, a lot of you are saying, what if you don't have kids? What if you're not part of a family? Why aren't those needs addressed, especially for our elder community, as well as people on disability like SSDI? Why aren't those people being helped with stimulus programs as well? I agree with you. I feel like there's a big gap there. A lot of people with families are benefiting from these stimulus programs, but people without families or who are older are getting the shorter end of the stick, basically. I agree with you. I wish there could be something done there. Also, stimulus led to dramatic declines in material hardship amid the pandemic. President Biden also gave a speech talking about the benefits of stimulus checks as well as other benefits from the last plan. Here's President Biden talking more about that.
The plan provided those resources to get shots in people's arms, underwrite the vaccination effort, enough vaccine supply for every single American, more vaccinators, people to put shots in the arms, and more vaccination sites. And now, 52% of American adults are fully vaccinated. 75% of our seniors are fully vaccinated. And the American Rescue Plan delivered economic benefits directly to the American people. Because of that law, more than 167 million of those rescue payments of up to $1,400 have gone out to individual families. A recent study, the Census Bureau data, found just how much these checks mattered. They drastically reduced depression, according to the study, anxiety, and hardship for families. More than 40% fewer families struggle to afford food, rent, utilities, car payments, student loans, and health care expenses. Small businesses and restaurants were getting killed. Now we're delivering loans and support they need to reopen and to stay open. Schools are struggling to reopen, so we made vaccinating teachers a priority. We delivered schools the much support they needed. State and local governments had to lay off tens of thousands of educators and first responders. Many are now back on the job thanks to the rescue plan. In fact, in May, state and local governments added 103,000 education jobs, returned them to work. These funds are continuing to get out this month to support state and local governments, which will help get more people back to work. Small and medium-sized businesses are now able to take advantage of a special tax credit called the Employee Retention Tax Credit. It provides businesses a generous tax credit to retain or hire more workers. Through our Restaurant Revitalization Fund, We anticipate being able to help over 100,000 hard-hit restaurants stay open or reopen. And beginning next month, most families with children will be getting a tax cut, which should be going and deposited in their accounts directly into their bank accounts every month. We know that access to child care is one of the biggest barriers in the way of parents going back to work. Our administration is delivering $39 billion in child care relief to help child care providers get back on their feet, the providers, and serve more families. And this month, our economy added nearly 20,000 more child care jobs that weren't there last month, in fact, allowing parents to have access to get help. And temporary boost in unemployment benefits that we enacted, I should say, help people who lost their jobs through no fault of their own and who still may be in the process of getting vaccinated, but it's going to expire in 90 days. That makes sense, it expires in 90 days.
What do you think about what President Biden said? He talks about a lot of the benefits about how stimulus programs, stimulus checks, how that helped a lot of Americans. I think even moving forward, I think stimulus checks as a whole and broad, it shouldn't go to the people who are already doing well, but it should definitely go to the poorest and our most vulnerable people in our society to at least help them get through the hard times, which are still happening for them. Let me know down in the comments below if you agree, disagree. Also, President Biden signals he backs ending $300 federal unemployment benefit in September as set under stimulus law. So basically, September 6th is when the $300 federal unemployment ends by law, and most Republican states are canceling that before September 6th as early as June 12th. He says it's okay for it to end. Basically says it makes sense, it expires in 90 days, with no plans to renew it. Let me know down in the comments below, is this a good idea, bad idea? Should it extend more? Or do you think, with the numbers and unemployment numbers, how they are, that it's a good idea to expire? Let me know your thoughts on that. Also, Michigan has a really unique way where they're pitching a plan allowing people to work part-time and keep unemployment benefits. So it's a unique proposal basically saying that the plan will ensure that Michiganders earn at least $15 an hour by giving businesses grants to cover the difference between existing hourly wages and $15. So it's a new way to use money. You get to work and you get to make extra money on top of that with unemployment benefits. Next, I'm going to answer the questions you leave for me in the comments. Robert Ray says, being on SSI, I don't normally file taxes, so I didn't file this year, but I did receive $14,500 in unemployment, and they took out $1,450 in taxes. Is that refund going to come automatically, or do I have to file a late with penalties? So that is going to come automatically, but you're not going to get the full $1,450. So it's only up to $10,200. So with that math, you'll get $1,020, and that's going to come automatically, but the IRS is still taking their time. More and more people are getting it, but it's still taking a really long time. So you'll get $1,020 because you're only going to get the $10,200 tax break with that. Debbie Pope says, I'm Cherokee. How do I get a hold of the people who do the stimulus? So regarding the stimulus checks, so if you're part of the Cherokee Nation or you're of Cherokee heritage, you could get up to $2,000 in stimulus checks I think it's going to be two payments, $1,000 and $1,000 throughout the next few months. But if you Google stimulus check Cherokee, then you should be able to find it. Tony Roberts says, question. What if I got more than $10,200 in unemployment in 2020? Would I be getting a tax credit or owe money to the government? No, so you won't owe, well actually, yeah, you have to pay taxes on any amount over $10,200. You will get a tax break on any amount up to $10,200. So if you made up to $10,200, you get $1,020, and you have to pay taxes on anything over that. Basically, unemployment in general, you have to pay taxes on that. Anyways, that is all the stimulus news I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you one thing that you should do. When you want to do something, you have the power to do whatever you want. Unless one thing, you believe in yourself. That's the only trick. So that's all I wanted to tell you for today. Bye. This is the Bella.
So one of the cool things I'm looking forward to doing today, later today on Saturday, is there is the Highlands Competition Games. Basically, it's like the old Scottish games where they're carrying logs, they're chopping logs. So I'm really excited to go see that. My family is not too excited, but I'm really excited to see it. Also, probably just gonna go to the beach and stuff. Hopefully you have a good weekend as well. Take care, be safe. Actually, I forgot. If you want to click any of these videos on the screen over here, click one of those. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.